collaboration of Comics Plus with AKASAN in the back as far as the camera work. And Samuel Leggett, Team JBS, I have here.
I'm Al Rodriguez.
And we are about to do the interview here with Team JBS. I have a few questions for you on your new show.
SEIS MANOS.
So this has been picked up by Netflix, releasing...
It just came out. It came out Thursday. It's been out for about 72 hours right now.
72 hours. So you know what to do, everybody.
Yeah.
But no, serious, you are the writer of the show. And I just wanted to get some insight on what was your evolutionary process of writing it, and more so than that, what do you want to draw as far as the progression of where this show could go?
Well, yeah, I'm the co-creator and executive producer of SEIS MANOS. We did it with Powerhouse Animation. That also does Castlevania, the new show called Gods and Heroes, and they just got announced the reboot of Masters of the Universe with Kevin Smith. They're doing too. The show, the genesis of the show kind of started with Brad Graber, who's the CEO of Powerhouse, and he had this concept that they've been trying to develop. I came on board through a guy named Carl Thiel, who actually did the amazing soundtrack for the show that just dropped on iTunes and Spotify, and it's coming out on coming out on limited edition vinyl from Mondo.
Really?
Yeah, it's got his own. The soundtrack is really amazing. But the show is like, I describe it as Machete meets Kill Bill on the set of Coco. It's a Mexican anime.
Yeah.
And it was all of our favorite things. It's a mashup of kung fu and Mexican folklore and blaxploitation and all kinds of stuff. So, we actually are hoping that, the response to the show will be good enough that we get our second season going, but so far it's been great.
Yeah, with the new show, Cannon Breakers, that is really inclusional and really immersive, but at the same time very graphical and very anime-esque.
Yeah.
Do you have a correlation that you think you feel like this is going in a certain direction?
Oh, sure. I actually recently met LaShawn Thomas at the Cannon Busters, and the show is really cool. I mean, that show is like everything you want in an anime.
Yeah.
And so inclusion is a big part of this show. I mean, this is a show that's been almost entirely cast of Latinx, African American, Chinese. There's one white character, I think, on the show. So it is like a completely different kind of thing. And I think it's like, shows like Cannon Busters and SEIS MANOS and Boondocks before that, and Black Dynamite, all these other kinds of things that are going to show people of color as the heroes of the show, and both as characters and creators and animators. It's like the opportunities are here now. It's like we're just trying to, push the door open a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, personally for me, like I'm also doing like short films and writing and just the progression of where characters could go.
Yeah.
So my final question for you is like, take one of your favorite characters that you've written for this show, and why are they your favorite character, and what is it about them that connects to you? Because most of the time when you get a character that's really depth or like layered, so to speak, there's some kind of correlation to yourself, sometimes. So I was curious if there's a character that you connect to specifically, and why they're your favorite characters to actually have written. And maybe you can't say but so much, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, so the story is about these three kids who are orphaned by cartel violence in the 70s, and they're raised by an old Chinese exile who's been hiding out in Mexico and teaches them different forms of kung fu. Mm-hmm. And then when the bad thing happens, they team up with an African-American DEA agent played by Mike Coulter, who's Luke Cage, and they team up with Officer Garcia, who's a Mexican federale, to go up against this strange and mysterious and almost mystical cartel. One of the three characters of these orphans is a character called Silencio. He's mute. So the idea of having a mute character as a lead in an animated series kind of was a challenge. But in a weird way, these three orphan kids who are now probably late teens or early 20s when the story is actually happening, one of them, Isabella, is like the thinker. She's very concerned about doing things the right way. Jesus, who fights in a drunken boxing style and has punch, which probably I can relate to. He's more the emotive one. He's the one who feels everything. And Silencio is sort of torn between these two things. He thinks a lot, he feels a lot, but he can't express that except through rage. And so, the idea of taking that character, through these 8 episodes of the show that's on Netflix right now, but also taking that into a new space and where that goes and how you can, not to spoil anything, but Silencio has some things up his sleeve, and so there's really exciting about writing a character like that that's torn between the emotional and and the thinker, and like I said, it's a crazy show. It's an anime show. It's a Mexican anime show. It's all of these things, but hopefully, got to smuggle some interesting ideas in all of that.
Thank you so much. Where can we find you on social media and your upcoming projects you might have? Where can we find you?
Sure, yeah. I'm on Twitter at Alrodz, ALRODZ. I'm on Instagram at Writeguez, WRITERIGUEZ. I just started writing on a new series for Showtime, which is completely different from SEIS MANOS, but I'm really excited about that. So, SEIS MANOS is now out on Netflix, and please watch it. It's available in both original English and Spanish language. So you can watch it in English, you can watch it in Spanish, you can watch it in Spanish and then watch it in English. It's a great, it's really amazing to be able to do a show like that, using some of the voice actors that are doing both English and Spanish.
Really? Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And this is Team JVS now. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you.